Definitely did. Definitely did. I mean, I honestly, I read so fast is because I have PTSD. I don't have it in a sense where, how can I explain? It's hard to explain, but I don't have it in a sense where, even though I did a lot of stuff when I was in the military and I've been to war a few times, I don't have it as a depression mechanism type thing. I have something that makes me so angry over little shit and I black out. And then I can't remember what I did because I'm so angry I just black out. And usually when I come to, I done did some crazy ass shit to somebody.
Mm.
So and then I got diagnosed with borderline sociopath because of everything that I went through with my PTSD triggered a whole bunch of shit that I didn't even know I had in me mentally. So sometimes I'm not as my emotions don't come off. So that's why I tell people online, you see emotions on me now, but in person you will think I'm really mean because I won't smile. I won't
Yeah,
laugh.
y'all need to give that up. Stop coming at us because we don't smile in public. You don't know what's going on
But
inside someone's head.
exactly, I get into an observant state and I just
Yes.
observe because I try to maintain my social battery because it'll drop really quick. And when it drops, then I'll get that tingling in the back of my head like I'm about to have a blackout. So I need to exit. So when I read so fast it's because it keeps my mind doing this really fast. So the more I
Mhm.
read, the less I have time to dwell on that
Right.
issue. So, so I appreciate you for the way you push out them books because I'll be like, okay, give it to
And I
me.
think that's what people don't understand about writing them. So if I'm in these worlds, I don't have time to be stressed about the negative stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have time to be concerned with somebody else's business or even the stuff that is difficult in my own life because I'm in these worlds. I'm
Mm-hmm.
concentrating on developing and figuring out these worlds. It's how I'm moving me forward. And
Mm-hmm.
if you meet me and I seem like I'm a little standoffish, it's not because I'm being rude to you. 9 times out of 10, I'm in a book. Like
Mm.
when my face glazes over and I'm looking at you, but I'm not looking at you, I'm in a book. It has nothing to do. You could have on a perfume that triggered a character,
Mm.
or you could say something in a conversation that triggers the character,
Right.
or we could be talking and a guy could walk past and he has triggered a character. So I'm constant. My husband knows better. So we could be in the supermarket and he'll laugh and say, "You writing a book? You looking at that couple writing a book, aren't you?" I'm like, "Shut up." He's like, "She's a nurse and he's a plumber." I'm like, you know what? And that's hilarious to me. But he's often always right. I have zoned out and went into a book.
Mm.
Driving is dangerous because you know that monotony of just going forward, enlist on a
Yeah.
book. I will black out and be in a book. Oh,
Mm.
I've run lights because I've had deadlines and I'm trying to figure out how the book ends. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm so much in the book that I run a light. So if my husband knows that it's deadline time, he'll drive me around so that I'm not blacking out behind the wheel. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's how we deal with what we're dealing with. This world, you need to find some coping
Mm.
mechanism. Blah 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 blah. Yeah, we know what I'm trying to say.
I mean, honestly, yes, because even though people say you have to be present, yeah, I can be present, but sometimes I need my escapism. And escapism doesn't actually have to mean that it's truly just a fantasy world, but the escapism that you're going through a situation, you see it in a book as well, but you see that
Right.
happy ever after, and it gives you hope that when you come out of that fantasy world, okay, now I can deal with this shit right here.
And sometimes this fantasy world keeps you from getting punched in your face because you're saying too much. Like, let me be. Let me go into my safe space so that I'm not
Exactly.
cursing everybody out. Like we are
Exactly.
a happier person when we have somewhere else to go. I see a lot of people who say to me that my books get them through work.
Mm.
Otherwise, they might choke somebody there. Like, until we can all learn to leave people alone and mind our business and stay in our space, there are things that we need to use to get through a day or two. So
So, what do you think? Do you think that without the books that have like romance, hell, any book, do you think if there was nothing like this for us, how would you think mentally people would be?
say that one more again.
If people didn't have these books,
Mhm.
your books or any other books, and it was just the monotony of every day, like a black and white, just going gray, going through the world, how do you think the world would be?
I think you'd have a lot more people jumping off of roofs and like just spazzing out and
Mm-hmm.
slamming their cars into people for no reason. A lot more road rage. Yeah, there has to be a break. The brain needs a break, otherwise it will split. I'm telling you because
Mm-hmm.
I've been there. If you don't if you don't find a way to at least you know what? Today, you just have people walking around bleeding all over the place. No one's healed. No one wants to heal. Like, I
Mm-hmm.
spent a lot of time in an unhealed place, and it wasn't okay because my husband was trying to cover me while I was healed, but people were throwing javelins at the same time. So he's catching all them javelins while I'm messed up, but he's covering me. And once the blood started to drip onto me, and I realized that, oh my goodness, I'm bleeding on the floor, but he's bleeding on me. Okay, I need to heal because he's getting tore up trying to cover me. Let let
Right.
let's get to a better place because this is not okay. It's not okay
Yeah.
to walk. You're an adult, so let's
Mm-hmm.
start adulting. And I think that's another part of maturity. Nobody wants to heal; they want to remain immature and cry about things instead of finding practical solutions and
Right.
type of real healing. And you don't become automatically healed when you become spiritual because you're seeing a lot of people saying, "Oh, I'm finding my spirituality and da, 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 da,"
Mm.
and thinking that they're healed because they figured out that there is a world of spirituality, but
Mm.
that can be manipulated and corrupted.
Yep.
So if you're not healed, you don't know how to use that right. There's so much that I can teach you, but I teach this to you, you're going to use it wrong because you're an unhealed person. And
Mm.
we're out here unhealed, thinking that we should step into things that are pure places
Mm.
of healing. So I don't went on a tangent. Am I answering your question?
Girl, go ahead. I'm enjoying this conversation. I really am.
I, I
Because
just
I mean,
think that's important.
it's very important that as a reader you understand where author's mindset is, because you're reading their words, and a lot of times, as you said, their words are like healing people, and then it's also taking people who are going through trauma and they're seeing the trauma and it's making them face their trauma.
And
So
I think that some authors don't understand that, and they don't realize that I will check out as a reader of yours if
mm,
I realize that you're bleeding on me. And
mm,
a lot of times I can pick up someone's trauma just by reading their work, and I do have to discontinue. I could love them. I could love
mm,
I can love the stories that they want to tell, but I'm realizing that you're bleeding on me. And
mm,
as an empath, that's a little bit much for me. So
mm,
I will discontinue reading your books because you're bleeding. You're bleeding out some trauma that you don't even know that you're bleeding out. Um, and like I said, because there is a place there's a place of healing and then there's a place of darkness. So you can
mm,
tell a story that's going to heal someone without bleeding on them necessarily. And I think that's where we get trigger warnings because
mm,
you have not healed from your situation. I'm telling it from a healed place, but you're not seeing that. All you're seeing is your trauma. And now
mm,
you want to put your unhealed world on top of something that I'm doing from a healed place to heal
mm,
someone else. You're not ready for that healing, but someone else is.
mm,
So let that person fall into that. And they could be ready, but if I put that trigger warning on it, they're going to run from it and not get that opportunity because that warning was there and they're like, no, 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 no. but I've done this gently for you with care of thinking of how this is going to affect you. So it's going to be a good thing. But if I warn you about it, you're not going to get that healing that you're needing. That's
Mm.
the trigger warning. Sorry, guys. Sorry.
I when I do my reviews, I always do trigger warnings because I feel like some people are not ready
Right.
for just a full on thing. I've had book clubs where people say, I read this book and then on the first page some little girl was getting molested and I just had to stop it. You know, if I feel like a lot of times in this day and age, if you're not warned, if you don't warn them, that's an excuse for them not to do something.
Okay.
And so when you warn them, you give them the choice because there's a lot of times of with a lot of people who have had trauma, the choice was taken away from them. So when I do the trigger warning, especially when it has something that deals with rape, molestation, child abuse, domestic violence, I always try to put that out there because there's so many people in this world that had that option taken away from them. So when you give them the trigger warning, they're like, okay, she told me, but this book is very interesting. I'm still gonna go ahead and read it. So that's how I see it when I do my reviews.
And
Because
that's a good way to look at it. But oh my gosh, I wanted to say something to that. Okay, so I love I love where you're coming from with that, and I think that is a very that's what I want to say. I think that you're coming from you're right. But there's always two sides to every coin.
mhm.
I also am a what do you call it? I try to be a safe author.
Mm,
I'm not going to put it on page. It'll be implied that it's there, but I'm not going to immerse you in your trauma. You get what I'm saying? Therefore,
yeah.
I don't feel that you necessarily need those warnings because I'm not immersing you in your trauma. I'm being
Mhm.
gentle about taking you to this place because I'm trying to walk you through something. And that's why
Right.
the trigger warning isn't there because you're not going to, if you know you can't swim, you're not jumping in the pool.
Mm,
You get what I'm saying?
yeah.
So that's why I tend to shy away from that because you might find out that you got into this pool and now you have gills and you can swim.
Mm,
But if you are afraid of that water, you're not going to get in at all
yeah.
because you already feel, I'm afraid, I can't swim, I can't do this. I don't believe in I can't. You can, if
Mm,
there's a will, there's a way. We can do anything that we want, more things than we know that we can. So,
right.
like, yeah, I've been in situations where if I listened to what I was told, I wouldn't exist.
Mm,
Because I was being told what I couldn't do, how short my life would be, that I wouldn't survive if I didn't do what I was being told I needed to do. When that was not something that felt right to me, that was not
mm,
what my spirit was telling me, that was not what I was
mm,
hearing for myself. So
mm,
here I am, a talking corpse years later because y'all told me that I'm not supposed to be here. If I didn't do what
mm,
you said, then that was it. But what it's like this is this is probably 15 years later. I'm still
mm.
here. So
I
not
get you. I feel you. I feel you. I just, when I first started doing these reviews, it was just like I never got any issues when I was doing white authors. I never got any issues, and that's honest to God. When I was doing white authors, they didn't come with trigger warnings in their pages or anything like that. Um, it was when I started doing BIPOC authors, and I had noticed that a lot of the complaints came from in-house. So to alleviate the problem, I said, you know what? Because these are some good goddamn authors, and I refuse for y'all to say that you're not reading their books because they did X, Y, and Z. I'm gonna tell you about it because I just had this thing when it comes, especially Black authors. I have this thing where people complain so much about Black authors that I want to give you as little room to squeeze your opinion in. So I get where you're coming from because I feel that also. But at the same time, I refuse to let any black author or any BIPOC author let anybody squeeze in their little, and I mean little opinion about y'all when y'all work as hard as the white authors.
Yeah. Um, that's difficult because I think, hi puppy. I think we have too many opinions now. And this is why I tend to shy away from jumping into reviews of my books, because they're not put there for me.
Yeah.
Most of the time, they're lying. You didn't read the book. That is not what happened. I'm so serious. You're lying. Either your comprehension isn't there or you are lying. So which
I'm
one is
laughing
it?
because it was a discussion that was had about that.
It ain't that did not happen in the book. What are you talking about? You're lying. You're someone, and I hate that I'm about to give away that I even seen this. Someone said that in The Kings of Night, I said, you feel me, almost every chapter. It was 52, 53 chapters in that book, and I said it 17 times. So no, it was not in every chapter.
Right. That's my daughter.
This is okay. But that's a lie. Why are we lying? What's the point in lying? So I'm to the point where most of the time when people decide to give their opinion, you're either lying or you're showing that you don't comprehend. And boo boo, that's a you problem.
Yeah.
Because like the more you speak, the more it's looking like you don't understand, because that did not happen.
And that irritates this go into, I don't want to get off the topic, but this also goes into being a reviewer on social media platforms. You get so many charlatans, fake ass reviewers that they'll say some real asinine bullshit, and you done read the book like multiple motherfucking times, and you like, where do you come up with that? What line was that? What page? Because baby, I ain't see that shit. But then you do your review, and then somebody else like, oh, but I heard from this person that, this book isn't good. Then you go to said review, and it's like, baby, why is you talking out your ass?
But here's my whole thing. Okay, I love your reviews because they make me chuckle. Like, like you are funny. So I appreciate that. I think, how can I say this nicely? I think we need to understand that what Storm says is Storm's opinion. That's what Storm likes. I might like what Storm likes, but I might not like what she likes. I have 70 books, and I don't think that you should like all 70. One of the mother lovers you are not going to like. This is the one that you don't like. When you say, this wasn't from, that was the one that you weren't supposed to like. It wasn't for you, okay?
Right.
That just was not your cup of tea. And I'm okay with that, because I'm not going to please everybody all the time with everything. I'm not supposed to. If you are yesing everything that I do, I'm kind of side-eyeing you. When you not going to like one? When? Because if you go into everything, something ain't right. Something stink in the water. I'm sorry.
See, and that's the thing with me is, if I don't like a book or you don't see me do a review about a book, it's a reason. If you don't see a review on Goodreads, Amazon, or Storygraph, there's a reason. But see, everybody's different. But with me, if I don't like something, I'm not gonna give you a bad review for the simple fact somebody else liked that book.
Right.
So why would I put my bad review on your page or say something to the social media world about I don't like this book, when there's probably tens of thousands of people who love this book?
And then if you don't like it, why be malicious about it? Because some of these reviews, y'all be trying to talk like y'all gonna throw them hands with me. And stop. Put your keyboard away. Because that ain't it. That ain't you. You not even affecting me, because I don't care. Like, you are talking to somebody who, my mama taught me who I was. from the beginning. My given name, I am the one and only in the world with it. So if you think that you really gonna hurt my feelings when I'm a one and only, a unique person, like there's not another me in this world, like baby, you got the wrong one. My confidence is way up here. I might be shy, but I am not insecure. So don't come at me with that nonsense like you're gonna try to make me or take away my confidence. It don't work that way. And being mean and malicious because you can't do something. Matter of fact, this is how my mother told me: if they don't like it, do it better than me. If you don't like the shoes I have on, buy me a better pair. If you don't like the book I wrote, write a better one.